Y'all get ready?
Yes, you get ready.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
So let's talk about the Kyren Lacy situation. I've been wanting to talk about that. My oldest son wanted me to do a video on it as well. So for y'all who don't know, Kyren Lacy was a young man. He played for LSU. He was getting ready to go into the NFL. And so he was speeding and he was accused of killing a veteran. And so many things spun out of this. He was looking at going to trial and he ended up offing himself. So let me play this YouTube video that kind of we're just going to watch a few minutes of it that kind of breaks down what happened to Kyren. And then we're going to watch the updated news clips because a lot of new information has come out about Kyren Lacy that I want to talk about. It's a heartbreaking situation.
Season yet. Scouts had him pegged as a mid-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. But on December 17, 2024, police say Lacy caused a devastating car crash in Louisiana that killed a 78-year-old man. Investigators say he was driving recklessly, speeding and making an illegal pass in a no-passing zone. Worst of all, they claim he fled the scene without stopping or calling for help. The fallout was immediate. Prosecutors issued an arrest warrant, charging him with negligent homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless operation of a vehicle. Lacy turned himself in, posted a $151,000 bond, and waited for his day in court. But while he was free, his football career collapsed. NFL teams backed away. Scouts stopped calling. Instead of training for the combine, he was preparing for trial. On April 12, 2025, just 2 days before a grand jury was set to hear his case, police say Lacy got into an argument with a family member in Houston, Texas. He fired a gun into the ground and fled in his car. Officers chased him, and when the pursuit ended, they found him dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. In the wake of his death, his legal team pushed back. His attorney Matt Orey released a huge statement, called the entire investigation a witch hunt, saying it was overzealous and targeted, driven by public perception, not facts. And the evidence would have led to a declination of charges by the grand jury. His lawyer spoke out more today and released the footage of the crash. And Kyren is really far from this crash, bro.
Okay. So long story short, basically, the lawyer put out a video. And the video that he put out, it showed Kyren Lacy's car a lot further back from where the crash took place. Then there was an officer, what is that called? Body cam footage, right? And the officer in the body cam footage was talking to a witness and basically bringing up the green car. And kind of, it felt like he was leading the witness to put the blame on the green car. So once this came out, social media was in an uproar. A lot of the sports commentators were very upset. They felt like, this young man was innocent. He was railroaded. This is not okay. He ended up taking his life because of the pressure. But now, as of yesterday, there's more video footage that has been released, okay? And it's showing that Kyren may have been a cause of this crash after all. So, again, I'm just the messenger. We're going to go ahead and watch the latest video because now they're releasing the full video because, again, a lot of people want that police department, off with their head, the police officers, racism, just everything that's been going on Twitter. I've been keeping up with it. But now there's even more to the story. So we're going to watch that really quick here. So give me just a second to pull that up.
Body-worn camera footage, witness statements, and more surrounding that crash. The information comes from LSP that is coming after Lacy's attorney sat down with Homa TV and claimed Lacy was nearly 70 yards away when the collision happened. Alyssa Curtis has been covering this story, joining us now in studio. And Alyssa, does this video dispute what Lacy's attorney claims?
Well, not entirely. The video and LSP's comments over the video line up with what Kyren Lacy's attorney claims. Lacy was some yards away from the head-on collision, but LSP is standing by their argument that Lacy's alleged reckless driving beforehand led to the crash.
Before Tuesday, the public had only seen this short clip of the crash Kyren Lacy was arrested in connection to. It was released by his attorney, Matt Ory, during an interview with Homa TV. But Tuesday, LSP released nearly 11 minutes of video intended to broaden the perspective. It starts with some of what we already knew and what Ory admitted during the Homa TV interview. Lacy, in a green Dodge Charger, is seen passing several cars and an 18-wheeler in a 2-lane highway. LSP says it was a no passing zone. He merges back into the correct lane and a crash is heard. Another angle, the angle the public had already seen, shows Lacy a few yards away at the time of the collision. Then what the public hadn't seen.
Okay, so y'all seen that first video. That's the one that went viral all over Twitter, was the video showing Lacy a few yards away. So this is the video that just came out yesterday.
To turn and then she had no choice. Head on.
Did you see a green Charger flying that way? A green Charger that going that way?
There was a green Charger. There was a green Charger that caused all this.
Body-worn camera footage records a trooper speaking to several people at the scene of the crash. As soon as he approaches, they seemingly begin to recount what they believe happened. They seem to immediately blame the green Dodge.
There was a green Charger. There was a green Charger that caused all this.
SRT8, he caused all of it. He went to pass the cars way back there, sir.
The green Charger collided with these cars?
He went right between.
He went around that truck, okay? He was passing up with her right now, and she had no choice.
A person who identifies himself as the driver of the 18-wheeler Lacy had previously passed says the green Charger caused everyone to start hitting their brakes. He and others on the scene explained the car coming in the opposite way in a gold truck hit his brakes and veered off the road. They say the woman in the car behind the gold truck swerved into the other lane.
She was coming this way.
Okay.
They was going this way also. Mr. jumped on brakes. She went to dodge Mr. And that's when he came on.
I was watching. I was by the gas station.
On the left side.
The trooper then speaks to the driver who crashed.
I just know the truck was stopping on brakes. The other car was trying to pass the other car. I was trying to dodge by not hitting them by coming around.
In the interview Ory did with Homa TV, they show another clip from body-worn camera. That clip shows an LSP trooper seemingly talking to the person who was driving the gold truck.
Just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes.
Okay, so this is the clip here that also went viral, where people were feeling like the police officer was trying to coerce this person into blaming Kyren Lacy. But now that we're getting more context, okay, it's looking to be different.
And the brakes, like, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that Charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that Charger.
I ain't scared my car, but I wasn't even going for it. That lady in the back of me, she didn't know what was happening. That's how she caused that wreck. She was running in the back of me, she pulled on the other side, and that's not it.
We have not been able to authenticate that video with LSP. LSP told us they can't confirm its authenticity as it was posted to a social media account and not an authentic LSP source.
LSP says they used 21 surveillance cameras and other investigative methods to, quote, uncover the full truth. They say they used forensic analysis, crash reconstruction, and comprehensive evidence.
All right, let me come back on the screen here. So that is what is going on now with the Kyren Lacy situation, okay? So now that there's more context, right? Because again, context matters. That's why I wanted to kind of wait before I did a video, because it's very easy to jump. And, it's a very emotional issue, especially if you're a sports fan. It's sad anytime a young person feels like they need to take their own life behind this. But we also have to have an honest conversation. From what I've seen, and this is, I've watched several news clips and the video. And again, we can say race, but you have a black man in the video that's saying the green Dodge. The green Dodge was, swerving in and out of traffic. At that point, nobody knew who was in the green Dodge Charger. They didn't know it was a LSU superstar football player. They didn't know if it was a black person, a white person, a woman. No one knew. They just knew the green car. So a lot of people, of course, are still saying it doesn't matter. It's their fault that he killed himself, this and that. He's not responsible. The only person responsible is the woman who hit the car. The woman should be charged. She should be thrown in jail. This is where we need to have an honest conversation, especially with young people. because unfortunately, a lot of times young people, young men, I have boys and I had to get on top of them as well. A lot of times young men think they're invincible, especially behind motor vehicles. Okay? As sad as this situation is, from what I see here, it looks like he was definitely responsible for operating that vehicle recklessly. Okay? He may have not hit that car head on and killed that veteran, but his actions, when you're swerving in and out of traffic and going around people, you're going onto oncoming traffic to cut around people. And we see this all the time. I live on a back road. People do it all the time over here, where if they feel like you're driving too slow, they're going to go onto oncoming traffic and then zip back in front of you, So, again, he created an unsafe driving environment. When you're on the road, it's not just about you. It's about everyone. So if you're darting in and out of traffic at a high rate of speed, not everyone has to be defensive based off of what you're doing. And because of him dipping out, that made that woman veer, to try and get away from him, because she's thinking this man's about to hit her head on. She tries to veer and ends up hitting somebody else. So, unfortunately, it does look like he was the cause of this crash. Again, he's young. His frontal cortex is not fully developed. A lot of young men speed. It's not okay. So I hope that what people can take from this, instead of just, trying to run with the racial aspect of this, is to make better decisions. And also, let's not forget, when he offed himself, he was driving recklessly then. He was on a high-speed pursuit with the Houston Police Department. Again, putting other people at risk. He could have hit somebody then as he was speeding down the freeway or whatever in Houston and killed innocent people. Once he finally got pulled over is when he took himself out, unfortunately. And I think part of it, the second time around was probably depression. He's supposed to be going into the NFL. He's having to fight this case. But this wasn't, to me, from what I'm seeing with all the receipts that are coming out, this wasn't a case of racism. This was a case of accountability. Yes, somebody else hit the veteran. Yes, the woman was the one who killed the veteran. But like I always say, for every action, there's a reaction. His actions is what caused the crash. So I don't know if the lawyer is still just trying to get some money. You know what I'm saying? Times is hard. So he's trying to, because he didn't put out the full video. The lawyer only put out the video of Kyren Lacy, several feet away. And that's fine. But now that we see the full video, we see him darting in and out of traffic. We hear witnesses saying, hey, did you find the green Charger? This was the green Charger's fault. And this was before anybody knew that it was this young man in the vehicle. They didn't know if it was a black person, white person, young, old, male, female. So I think what we have to do is learn from this. Like I always say, always learn from the mistakes of other people so that way you're not destined to repeat them. A lot of young people need to slow the fuck down. Again, I've been young. I've gotten better with my driving. I haven't always been the best driver, okay? But you got to understand that when you are on the road, it's not your road. There's tons of people on the road. We've lost entire family members. A cousin of ours, there was 5 of them in a van. Woman was driving reckless, did some type of crazy move on the freeway, van flipped over, all 5 family members died. This was here in the Twin Cities. This was about 5-6 years ago. It was major news in the Twin Cities. I was related to those people. All 5 family members died. So it is really sad, and people need to understand that, there's nothing that important to get to. Your main thing, I know it sucks to be late, but the most important thing is you getting to your destination safe and getting back safe and not putting other people at risk. And I think this accident was caused by him being young, being reckless, having a super fast car, you know, wanting to low-key be seen, and just not thinking fully, because when you're young, you don't think things all the way through. So it's sad, and it's sad that he felt the need to, you know, take himself out because he was looking at some time, and he had lost his, a lot of brand deals backed up off of him. He was losing his bid on the NFL, and this is something he had worked hard for since he was a child. So again, when you have things to lose, you have to just move accordingly. One of the things I learned when I lived in LA, and this will always stick with me, because I grew up in a culture where it was okay to be late. We call it African time. And anytime I do something for like my Nigerian family members, my cousins, there's the real time and the African time. All the Africans, maybe Caribbeans, African Americans, y'all can relate too. We got to give 2 times. So if I'm throwing a party, if I say I'm doing a dinner or a barbecue at my home and it starts at 4, I need to tell them literally 2:30 so they can be there by 4. If I say 4, they won't be here till 6. So this is how I was raised, right? This is my culture. So somebody says, okay, there's an event at 5 o'clock. Most likely I won't be there till 6. It's just, unfortunately, that's just how. Yeah, okay, y'all call it CP time. Kimco. Okay, good. So y'all can relate to the Caribbeans. Okay, good. Yeah, we call it African time. But unfortunately, that's just how I was raised. This was just normalized to me, hey, I'm here. So what I learned in LA, I had to break that habit. And one thing I learned is you can't come waltzing into an audition 30 minutes late, 20 minutes late. You can't blame the traffic. No one gives a shit in LA. So I had to really, this was a struggle for me initially because I was so used to, for me, it was just normal to be 30 minutes late. And what I learned is not only is that disrespectful, it's disrespectful of that person's time, and the world does not revolve around you. If the audition says that you need to be here at 11 a.m., and if you come in on time, you're late. That was the mentality that was drilled into me when I was in LA modeling, acting, going on auditions, go-sees. If you're on time, you're late. If the audition starts at 11 and you're walking in at 11 o'clock, you're late, and they will turn your ass away. So after that happened, when I walked into an audition on time and I was turned away, I learned my lesson. And of course, it was because of the traffic, this, and that. So anytime, I would always leave the house anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half early, especially if I had to go from the Valley to Santa Monica. Most likely, I'm going to leave the house 2 hours early because there's always traffic in LA, and traffic is no excuse. So that really shaped me a lot. And I brought that back with me to the Midwest, okay? So now when there's something going on, I make sure to be on time. It's just, it's just the right thing. If somebody's saying that they're doing something at 5:30, be there on time, So, yeah, unfortunately, a lot of us just have that mentality. And that's the thing. Y'all know, when I do my events, it's sometimes things may run behind, but for the most part, it's get there on time, get checked in. And you guys have been really good about that. Y'all be super on time, 30 minutes early and shit. Hey, we're still setting up. Wait outside, But, yeah, you just want to give people that grace, because one thing I've noticed now that I'm on time to things, it causes less anxiety, less stress, and you're not racing. You're not, your foot is not made of lead on the gas pedal. You're able to think and relax and listen to music. You're not oh my God, I got to get there. I got to get there. I got to get there. I was always driving with with anxiety and in a rush. And when you pace yourself and you set yourself up to go to places on time and to leave your home, 30 minutes, an hour early, it just saves you so much stress and headache. So I don't know where this young man was off to. I don't know if he was running to, you know, to the store to go see somebody. I don't know. But it's never that serious. You know, just slow down. Slow down. So I really wish that he could have just learned from this and he didn't take himself out. You know, because every mistake that you make is a learning lesson. It's unfortunate somebody lost their life in the process. But I'm not going to just be like, oh, this was just a race issue. He did nothing wrong. Now that the full video is out there, no. He was definitely the cause of the crash. And it's unfortunate, but, you know, I deal in receipts. I don't deal in feelings. I like to deal with strictly facts. And from what I'm seeing, from the receipts that I'm seeing, and from what the people are saying before they knew it was even him, they all said the green Dodge caused this. So it's sad. Rest in peace to him. I just wish it could have been a lesson that he learned and he didn't, you know, feel the need to take himself out, you know, because, you know, suicide is it's a temporary fix to a permanent solution.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovelyti TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovelyti TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.